Bev's Video Kingdom is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
I can grab your favorite podcast. Let's start this thing. Woo!
Welcome back to Bev's Video Kingdom. You know, guys, sometimes I like to tell people that I have a special set of skills that make things very, very uncomfortable for all of you.
Is that misquoting movies? Is that your special skill?
That is his special.
I have a special set of skills that you might not like. You might. It's hard to say. You might. In case you haven't guessed it, we are taking on Taken today. That was my pick. This is Nate. What's up, Zach?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. What's up, Brad?
I am here.
I chose Taken because this movie, maybe more than any other action movie, I mean, Die Hard's in there, True Lies is in there. There's some super classics, but when I think like pure action, Taken's the one that I think of.
Really?
Yeah. And I think it's because, and we commented on this earlier, right? It's really tight. It's an hour and a half.
Super tight.
Right? It has actually, funny enough, I noted exactly the moment. It's a little slow. Like the first 25 minutes are like a little slow to go. And then it's like an hour of just absolutely hang on to your seat. So for me, Taken, like I really love this movie as in the action genre. It's pretty straight ahead. It's pretty simple in that way. There's certain things that we could complain about, but there's a lot more to celebrate. So this movie came out in 2008. I want to talk about this later, but I think it incorrectly is identified as like the beginning of Liam Neeson's action career, which I think is wrong, but I think sometimes it's identified that way.
Is there a movie he did before?
Oh, well, we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Don't blow it.
My bad.
Don't blow it. All right.
Do a bunch of stunts in Love Actually.
So we've got $25 million estimated budget. It made that back in opening weekend. I think a little bit out of nowhere. Like, I don't think this was one that was super, super out of just like people thought it was going to be this huge blockbuster, and it killed. Gross worldwide was $226 million.
That's a pretty solid.
What did they spend $25 million on?
I mean,
like
Liam Neeson.
Probably he got $18 million, and then they spent the rest of it.
I'm sure he got a lot of it. So a lot of it was there. We got a huge, sort of. It spurs a franchise. We get Taken 2 and Taken 3. There's video games. Like, it became a thing. And then they made basically Taken again with Liam Neeson, except they called it different things like 7 or 8 times.
Well, then they started taking a few other older actors and putting them in like action movies. It kind of became a thing for a second.
Yeah. So I want to talk about that element of it, because like they did. I mean, it definitely made it. I mean, he was like, I had it written down. He was in his 50s when he takes this role, and it's it's the beginning of a second, I would say definitely a second part of an action career for Liam Neeson. So we'll get to that. Okay. So I want quick takes here. Zach.
So my quick take is I saw this long ago, and Nate, I got to ask you. So what year did you have your first daughter?
My oldest is born in 2004.
So you probably watched this when she was 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah, I would have seen it when it came out.
Do you think that for sure like had something? Because I watched it as a single man with no family, and then watched it again as a married man with a daughter, and it was a very different movie.
So that's a super interesting point. I never thought of it that way, and maybe it does. I mean, you have these, and this is a great segue, because for me, one of the things that's great about this, and it does tie into sort of the Die Hard, is like, even though he's obviously a former CIA agent with a special set of skills, as I pointed out, he has a regular guy feel, and that kind of goes to Brad's point about him being a little bit older, right? Like, he doesn't look like an action star. He doesn't kind of carry himself like an action star. And so it allows you, I guess, as to have a little bit of a fantasy that like, oh, that could be you. Like, if I took a different path in life, I could be the CIA, agent that then, got to save my daughter. And so maybe the save your daughter. I mean, I definitely, as a father, have had more than my share of like have to save my family fantasies.
And I think that's what this is. This is like the ultimate like save your daughter fantasy. Your daughter gets kidnapped and abducted, and then you save her, and she's still hasn't been deflowered. You know what I mean? She's been with these bad guys for however long, and nothing.
Usually, I don't focus on the whether or not the
family.
You know exactly what I'm saying, right? Like
family.
your worst nightmare is that your daughter gets like kidnapped and then raped and like has all these terrible experiences, but somehow he manages to save her before any of that happens, right?
Right.
Like it's I don't know, I thought that was a big part of it at the end. I was like, oh, so not only does he save her, but he saves her before she's even been like, you know, brutalized by these people.
No, I tell you, I mean, she gets hopped up on drugs, but that's not
yeah, but she was just
she's a little bit. That's the kind of European experience. All right, Brad, what do you got?
It's funny, just what you guys are talking about there. It's like, I think even if you're a low key person, as soon as you have that first child, it's like there's something just kind of like internal where you're just like, okay, I would definitely kill people for this kid, to save this kid.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It becomes this kind of instinct of like, you know what, I will jump through walls. I will do whatever I have to do to protect this child.
Yeah,
and it speaks to that. And it's just the matter of the worst circumstances you can imagine as a parent. And it's just the fact that he has the ability and the connections to instantly make that happen. Of it's like, this is a rescue mission now. It's not like, oh, we need to contact the police. Oh, we got to do this. It's like, no, this is my job to rescue my child, and he makes it happen.
It just goes full like, I don't give a fuck. Like he's just. I mean, that's one of the things I love about it is he's just, and watching it each time, I'm like, he's just, I don't care. I'll kill anyone. I'll go to jail. I'll torture whoever I need to torture, like whatever I got to do. And that's that kind of like doesn't, just complete loss of regard is one of my favorite parts.
Yeah. There's a scary place you can go to if you feel like your kid's being harmed or injured in some way. It's like, there's a scary place that you can instantly go to where it's like, you realize that you would do something entirely illegal to make sure that your child's protected. So.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to jump us a little quicker than normal to drinking with the director because today we're not drinking with the director.
Special guest.
We've got a special guest. And we are drinking with Einar Haraldsson, who's joining us live from Reykjavik, Iceland.
Wow.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about why not just who Einar is, but why he's on this episode. So Einar is an actor, and he's been in a number of television shows in Iceland: Sisterhood, Stella Blomqvist. I'm going to get this right. Get this wrong. Visionaire.
Yeah.
That's a terrible. Thanks for
your accent is on point today.
It's pretty good.
It sounds great.
So it's almost as good as my movie quote.
You sound Icelandic.
I always knew that I was Icelandic deep down. Okay, so Einar, so he's an actor, but he also was a police officer. So he spent 20 years as a police officer in Reykjavik, in Iceland, and he also served as the Secretary General for the International Police Officers Association. So he's got a bunch of experience in law enforcement and a foot in sort of the international element of this, and then he moves to acting. And so when I reached out to him, I said, "Hey, you have this really interesting career, and you're now in acting when you were in law enforcement. We got some movies coming up. We'd love to have you join us. What would you like to? What catches your eye?" And he's like, "Oh, Taken." And as soon as he said it, it made sense. So, Einar, welcome to the show, first of all. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Yeah, and so we have the tradition on Bevs here that we like to talk about what we're drinking when we have a special guest or the hypothetical director. Zach, what are you drinking?
So we just drove to L.A.
Yeah, we're in L.A. right now recording.
We showed up in the City of Angels, and Brad goes down to the bar to get us drinks, and he calls me and says, "Well, they got some sort of Lagunitas that's 9% Budweiser or Corona. Those were the only options." So I said, "It's 1 p.m. I'm not going to drink any 9%ers at 1 p.m. So why don't you bring me a Corona?" And so I'm drinking a delicious Corona Extra, and it is quite delicious. Cheers to you, Einar.
All right,
cheers.
Brad, what do you got?
I've got the king of beers. I've got Budweiser, courtesy of InBev, which is an international company. It's no longer United States owned, but that's
not
okay.
affiliated with Bev's Video Kingdom, but
They are
could
not.
be.
Yeah. InBev. That'd be a good sponsorship. But yeah, Last Call is our normal sponsor, and we did actually bring some Last Call brews, but they are getting chilled right now. We didn't want to drink warm beer, so
It's not exactly the tap on the back porch.
Yeah, it is
on,
not.
on the outdoor Bev's Video Kingdom.
it is not. So I'm drinking a Budweiser, and you know what? There's always room for a good Budweiser.
Well, as the Bev listeners know, I usually am drinking Diet Pepsi with grenadine. I neither have Diet Pepsi nor grenadine. Instead, I'm drinking a Coke Zero, which hurts my heart.
Oh, it's zero though. I thought that was just regular
Oh, no,
Coca-Cola.
Coke Zero is preferred to regular Coca-Cola for sure.
I thought
because-
I thought it was a diet, and it was Coke Zero. I was like, whoops.
No, I like Coke Zero. That's my preference over Diet Coke.
Okay.
Okay. So, Einar, what are you drinking with us tonight?
A glass of water.
Oh, nice.
I love. Is it like at least it's off a glacier, right? I mean, it's
Our drink here is in the Brennivin is strong.
Oh.
Our yeah.
okay. Is that the favorite of Iceland?
I would not say favorite. Favorite in Iceland. Yeah, this is Icelandic made, and then especially we give the foreigner who comes here one small glass.
You don't want anybody falling over.
Eesh.
You don't want to fall off of Iceland the first time you get there.
And Einar, what does it taste like? What does this drink taste like?
Tastes like hell.
Okay, I got to remember to try that if I ever visit Iceland.
We drink this Brennivin with shark.
Really?
We eat yeah.
Okay, shark and Brennivine.
It pairs nicely, I hear.
Yeah.
With the when you get the real toothy shark, it's especially good.
Okay.
All right, so
Nate's been told he looks like a shark when he does the backstroke.
allegedly. Okay, so Einar, first of all, tell us a little bit about why because you picked to Taken as from a menu of different things. Tell us why you chose Taken as the movie you wanted to join us for, and give us your quick take on the movie.
Yeah, I chose it because this is about a person who is definitely want to protect his family, whatever what it costs. It tells you something. He don't mind what he will do. He was going to get her daughter from the kidnappers, and whatever it cost goes into my heart.
So in your experience, because you did 20 years of police work, right? Did you interact much with special police like CIA or FBI in the United States?
Interpol.
Interpol.
Like that.
Yeah, we have connecting with the Interpol and FBI.
Okay, and how realistic is the character?
He is very, very much realistic. It's just like it's real. I think you and me and everyone will do the same what he did.
Are you a family man, Einar? Do you have a family?
Yeah. I have 4 kids and 7 grandkids. So I have a big family to protect.
Oh, right. So you're you're on guard all the time, ready to. You got your your go bag ready. So one of the things that for me made me also really sort of drawn to this is so it reminded me a little bit this time. The way I put it was it was like a scavenger hunt. So I love a movie where it takes you to a certain spot, and then there's sort of a set of clues that unfold. Like each place takes you to the next, and it's kind of a set of building blocks. And so in this, and Man on Fire, right, has a little bit of the same feel to it, where he kind of jumps from one thing to the next, pursuing it. So I love that about this one, that it feels like, you get to go on the adventure again, almost like going on a ride at an amusement park over and over again. Eventually what all the turns look like, what all the dips look like, but it's still exciting, right? In some ways, because it's coming, it feels like it. And this movie for me, every time I watch it, feels like I'm going on, a ride I like again and again.
That's kind of the good action movie thing, right? The good action movies are the ones you can watch over and over again. You know what's coming at the next turn, but it's still fun to watch.
Amar, in your experience as a police officer, one of the big things that pushes this movie is the fact that he has a limited amount of time to basically, they tell him like within 96 hours you might not find your daughter. In cases that you've worked in the past, I mean, did you always feel like you're running against a clock? Like we got to get this solved quickly, otherwise we might lose any possibility of leads and things like that.
No, I have to admit that crimes here in Iceland is not so much. For example, we don't carry a gun.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is it because it's because you're so lethal with your hands, though, right?
Because we are Vikings, we know. No, because we have absolutely no crimes.
Really?
We have a SWAT team. Of course, we are trained to shoot and all that, but we are not carrying a gun.
So that's kind of I don't know if you follow what's going on in the United States, but I mean, a lot of the defund the police and that talk is kind of, pointing to places like Iceland and saying like, look, these people have really low crime. The police officers don't even carry guns, and along those lines, do you feel like the fact that you don't carry guns and there's not a sort of kind of a back and forth between people feeling like against the police or for the police or whatever it is, do you feel like that contributes to, kind of the sort of peaceful nature of it?
We say it, if we start to carry a gun, the criminals start to carry a weapons also.
Interesting.
Come against us. Yeah. And when I can tell you that I was invited I've been in 250 countries to look at the police officer. And I was invited to LAPD, and I was there for 6 weeks. They invited me to patrol on a night shift, and they said, "This is show me a shotgun between the seats. This is your gun, and you have to use it if something happened." I said, okay.
Yeah, so it's like you're on a ride along, but they're like, in case things go down, you got to be ready.
Real, yeah. How I was going to ask him how to use it like this, all that.
So, for those of you that listen to our training day pod, you'll know that I'm like about half a police officer. Except in my case on the ride alongs, I constantly reassure the cop that I'm with, hey man, if something goes down, I got the shotgun. And they're like, you may not touch the shotgun. No. I'm just saying, like, but what if something goes down? I know. They're like, don't touch the shotgun.
So, I mean, was your experience in 6 weeks with the LAPD? I mean, was it? I mean, kind of eye opening of like, wow, the United States has a lot of problems, or was it like? I mean, what was your thoughts?
Yeah. I was thought they must have a very much problem here because they shoot first and ask later, but we ask first and don't shoot them.
You ask first, and then you're like, hold on right there. I got to go find a gun.
Here, have some of my shark, and we'll talk about this.
No, it was a shock when I came there.
So I noticed that a lot of your roles that you've had so far, not all of them, but a lot of them have been police officers. So obviously your sort of real world experience has helped translate into that. How much, I mean, do you feel like you're able to sort of get some little details that maybe other actors would have a harder time getting by playing that role, having had that real life experience?
Yeah. When I started my first role, they didn't know that I was, have been police. And then I was telling the director, no, it's not like this, it's not like that. And he looked at me and said, how do you know? I said, after 20 years in the police force, I know. Yeah. Have you been in police? Oh, they didn't know. And now, after that, I'm always in the job of police.
That's your typecast. Well, what about your upcoming roles? You have something coming up in Switzerland, a movie coming up in Switzerland. You're about to do, and a movie in India. What about those? Yeah,
for example, Switzerland is a movie called No Time to Think. It's about the kidnapping of a daughter.
Ooh, that sounds
so and I'm a bodyguard for this person. It's about to get her before it's similar to.
So it sounds kind of like Taken.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your role in that one?
I'm a bodyguard for the main character.
Got it.
The father of the daughter.
And what about the film in India coming up?
India, I'm a ship cook. It's about gold and about Hitler and about the war and about greedy. It's an action thriller movie also.
Ah.
In any of your movies, have you been killed in a movie? Have you been like shot or killed in a movie?
No.
No,
No, not yet. Dang it! You gotta get that one.
I will not tell you.
Okay.
my upcoming movie.
Officially not yet.
I know the upcoming movie in India. People will cry.
Oh, that's awesome.
I am a very special character in the movie.
All right. Well, for all you Indian listeners, that's a spoiler alert right there. So we apologize.
It's a Hollywood movie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's only made there.
Okay, what's the name of the movie again?
It's called The Lost Ship.
Lost Ship.
Lost Ship. Okay.
Well, we'll keep an eye out for you. Okay. Well, Einar, we really appreciate you coming on and staying up late. I know we asked you to do to stay up well past at least what my bedtime is, and
Really?
we appreciate it. And we will definitely circle back around when that movie comes out, and we're going to hit you up for an interview so you can tell us about that death scene that may or may not happen
on the red carpet. See me on the red carpet.
That's all right. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and next time I'm in Iceland, I'm looking you up, and I'm going to get some of that shark juice.
Yeah. You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you for inviting me. Good night, guys.
Good night. All right. Thanks, Einar, for joining us from Iceland and giving us a little insight into the police actor intersection.
What was that? Our 17th guest from Iceland?
I think that's 17. Yeah. Definitely. We've done.
There's only 3 more people in Iceland.
Okay. So before, I don't want to jump too quick into Snag Shag, though. I realize there's some things that I didn't cover in either of the sections that I want to kick out to you. Okay. First question, fellas.
Okay.
Is this peak throat punch movie? Is there any movie where more throats are punched more effectively?
Well, I just didn't know that you could get knocked unconscious from throat punches. Like a lot of people going unconscious from throat punches, which is kind of interesting.
There was a lot of people going unconscious after one punch. I was like, man, he's debilitating people quickly. These guys just lay there after he touches them. It's like those senseis that are like full of shit. You know what I'm talking about? They're like, and then he fought an MMA fighter, and the guy murdered him.
It was like his energy hand.
Yep.
But you know, the ultimate throat punch movie is always and forever going to be Roadhouse, where he literally rips the man's throat out with the throat punch.
So it's one throat punch,
and then MacGruber.
Yeah, MacGruber too.
So it's more of a throat rip.
So we're number 3.
We're saying top 3. So one of the things that I like that makes this movie. So we talked about earlier the fact that Liam Neeson has that every guy feel, partly because he's older. So he's 56 when this movie comes out. Right?
It gives him such an advantage in all situations, though. No one expects him to throat punch him.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is exactly the kind of dude that you don't want to mess with. Is the guy that's like
100%.
That's like, I don't have to kill you. I just will if I need to. Right? Like that's who you don't want to mess with.
It's different, but kind of the same as when I saw UFC champion Michael McDonald in the grocery store, and I was like, I could totally beat that guy up. He's like 121 pounds and like 5'7", and he would literally murder me. He would kill me and my whole family.
I've rolled with him in jiu-jitsu, and you would think like I'm way bigger than this dude.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, my arm's getting broke. I'm like, okay, this is not good. I passed his guard once. He's like, hey, good job, man. I was like, I felt like a hero.
I would have too.
I passed his guard.
That's like getting a base hit off Greg Maddox, dude. That's freaking badass. I didn't know you rolled with him.
Oh yeah. That was back in the old
MMA days. Rolls.
Dude, that's how Brad rolls.
So that's a special wordplay that goes out to my wife, who loves wordplay that makes me cringe. So,
God damn, dude, that was good. You hate that kind of shit? I love it.
I hate puns and wordplay. So my one of my good friends, Nate, who I coached basketball with for a long time, and who's a teacher, and he actually now is my son is in his class at school, in high school, and Nate is famous for his dad jokes. And it's funny because Nate's actually he's a very funny guy, super clever, has a very wry sense of humor. Like he's a listener. So what up, Nate? But he has I think he does it kind of ironically, but he's gotten so deep into the dad jokes that he loves them too. And so my son's been coming home lately and telling me all the bad dad jokes, and it's like he's a total hero to my wife, and to me it's like a side of him that I never wanted to see. Anyway, so here's talking though about the regular guyness. He's 56. You don't see him coming. But one of the cool things I think that he
doesn't ever come in the movie. That's true.
Well, okay, never mind. I didn't know what happened with the electrocution, if he took a little for himself. Okay. Anyway, so there's this one scene early in the movie where all of a sudden I realized what the movie's doing to help it look even cooler is the camera angle jumps around at a pretty up close constantly. So it makes what I assume would look from far away like old guy, like martial arts that isn't really that martial arty. It makes it look incredibly fast.
Yes.
So the movie does a great job just because of the speed and the angles of making it look like he's doing things. And you literally lose track. You're like, I don't know if that was an arm or a leg, but holy shit, he just punched that guy in the throat and he fell down.
Yeah. It's 100% editing makes Liam Neeson look like a badass in this movie.
Shout out to our boy Rob, who edits for Francis Ford Coppola. I bet Rob could pull that shit off.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think Francis is wanting to do those fast cuts. I mean, obviously he has the worst punch in maybe movie history though in The Godfather.
Oh, actually, the missed punch.
You know what, dude? Okay, if you guys haven't heard our Godfather pod, we had Rob Schaefer on, who works for American Zoetrope, which is Francis Ford Coppola's company, and he's redone a bunch of the classics. Godfather 3, Apocalypse Now. He's approved a bunch of the other Godfathers. Robbie's a badass, and so this is so we're coming for you again, Rob.
So speaking of that quick editing, I'm looking right now. This movie came out in 2004.
2008.
So 2002, in my opinion, the ultimate fast edit movie is Bourne Identity with Matt Damon.
Very similar. Yeah.
So it's very similar, combat style filming, right? That was Doug Liman in 2002.
I think this is a legacy movie for that.
I think it's semi ripoff. They wanted to let's do something Bourne, but let's put it in an old guy, and then they really have to cover the fighting because it's an older dude.
There's something sort of romantic about fighting bad guys in Europe, right? It doesn't even really matter where you are.
When I think about romance,
yeah, but you know what I'm saying, right? There's something cool to the movies that have the kind of like Bourne, stuff like that. You're in another country and you're so badass that you're even you can navigate and do all these things even in another country. You know what I mean? You probably
out of your element, but you're still a badass.
You probably have a locker somewhere that the combination to, that when you open it up, it's got whatever country you're in. It's a bunch of dollar bills and some IDs and stuff and a gun in.
A local go back.
Yeah,
he goes to the hotel and they're like, "Oh, welcome back." He has that one little spot he's staying.
100%.
So
I think that's part of the cool. You're not just a badass. You're an international fucking man of mystery.
Okay. Now I want to ask a question though. Is this one of the all-time alarmist movies when it comes to there's celebrities and there's just gentlemen waiting to stab them around the corner, and then it's as soon as you get in Paris, there's guys just waiting to steal your daughters. I kind of felt that's a little bit extreme at this point.
So I definitely think that's a great call. Especially I didn't think about the celebrity part of it, but I definitely thought about the everybody thinks that their kid playing in the front yard now is going to get snatched.
Yes.
But if you look at the all the research on this, I don't think kids get taken by strangers more now than they did 50 years ago.
Right. The data does not show anything. It's just we hear more about it because of social media.
Exactly. And so I think some of that same stuff, obviously trafficking's a real thing and it's definitely gone up and that kind of shit's terrible. And probably it's way more common, obviously, now than it was 50 years ago, that kind of thing. But way more common, meaning like it's 10 times as common, but still like a 1 in 1 million chance.
What I hear you saying is that when your daughter turns 17, you're forced to show her this movie and stop it before he gets on the boat. And just stop it and be like, look, she got taken away on the boat. And then stop the movie.
The end.
And just be like, that's what happens if you talk to random strangers in Europe.
I'm going to have Rob edit it into the credits start. Right
Exactly.
Or we can just get that 21-year-old that works for the Hoosiers gym.
Jim, hey, I got a project for you. I got a director's cut for you.
That's a shout out to the Hoosiers.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I like that call. I mean, I have another thing I want to throw out here, that the Liam Neeson regular guy thing, and all of a sudden he comes out of nowhere as an action star. Let me read you a few credits before this. Rob Roy in '95, he plays. He's a pirate?
Rob Roy.
Yeah, or is he a pirate fighter?
I think that's like grenadine and like Sprite or something, right?
Actually, that's right. I think
There's some cherries in there, I believe.
cherry and a Rob Roy.
Yeah.
So he's Rob Roy. It's pretty actiony movie, period action movie. Star Wars, the episode 1 in '99. He's a Jedi.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Batman Begins 2005.
Oh, he plays the bad guy in that. He's great.
Al Ghul or whatever his name is.
Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul.
So these are 3 credits spaced out, like over 13 years prior to this, where like he's doing serious action roles and pretty.
He's not the leads in any of those, though.
He's not the leads.
I mean, Qui-Gon's a huge role.
He's not the leads, but he's like they're major action roles, right? So I'm challenging this thing, like what why do we think Liam Neeson is all of a sudden an action star with Taken?
It's the grittiness of the hand-to-hand combat. Like I don't know, I haven't seen Rob Roy, but in the other two, I mean, there is some combat in Batman, but as far as a Jedi, I mean, he's sword fighting, but he's not actually like hand-to-hand, like fighting somebody.
Every single one of those.
I think that's the difference.
Every single one of those is a period drama or period action movie of some sort, and this one is set in present day, and you can picture yourself as him. Like, of course, you could fantasize about being a Jedi, but you're picturing yourself as this dad in this environment.
Yeah, but like, okay, but let me push back on that, right? So, Tom Cruise, give me a role where Tom Cruise ever is like in an action movie, and you're like, I could be that guy.
So,
but I mean, he's certainly an action star, though. My point is, like, I guess, I mean, I'm not saying that's not transformational for Liam Neeson, but I'm just saying I'm not sure why all of a sudden him in this role makes him an action star more, or like fit for action movies, but like these previous 3 just don't.
You give me a lightsaber, I'm gonna start hacking some people up. Like, I don't care what martial arts it is. Like, I got a lightsaber, people can get fucked up. Like, without any experience, I'm gonna be swinging that thing around, and some people can get chopped up. Like, if you're fighting hand-to-hand combat, that's 100%.
So 2 of the 3 that I mentioned are either sword or. So you're saying sword play and lightsaber play are outside of the realm of action stardom.
Yeah.
All right.
And then it's a superhero movie in the Batman, so like that
it's
that becomes
fantasy.
almost like it's like different than like Zach saying, with like being like actual reality.
I think Mark Hamill has something to say to you about that, but that's fine. You deal.
I'm not saying they're not action stars. I'm saying
you deal with the Star Wars hate.
I'm saying the fact that it's like an action, like callback to Stallone, callback to Schwarzenegger, callback to Wesley Snipes when they're leading a movie and they're like the action hero of that movie. I think that's what we're saying. This was his like, oh my God, this older guy is now doing one of those types of movies.
Wesley Snipes is so stoked that you put him in that group right now. That was a wild pull. You're like, and Wesley Snipes.
It's some legit. I mean, come on,
like,
Passenger 57.
You're like Kobe,
Blade.
MJ, Marco Bellinelli. And I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Okay.
I like Wesley Snipes.
All right. So what else you got? You guys got anything you don't want to shove in here before we go?
Oh, I do. Well, one of my least favorite things in movies, and I'm surprised in a movie in 2008 they did this unironically. When he gets the little chip from the phone and he puts it in to like look at the pictures.
And he zooms in.
He fucking does
and it
enhance.
gets clearer.
Enhance.
Brad,
It's so fucking
we just
stupid.
talked about that on a podcast.
We did,
And
we
I
did
was
it.
laughing to myself when they did it on the movie and it got clearer. I was like, that's a really fuzzy
He
picture.
zoomed in on an old ass 2008 camera, and then it clears up the zoom in.
That's CIA technology, bro. That technology,
He's on a little kiosk on a street.
you know
He
what?
was on a kiosk.
It's decades. That's decades. He had some sort of little on the chip. It had some software that it. Put
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
for
machine.
CIA,
That's what
for
happened.
sure,
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
what happened. All right, so we're gonna move on here.
Oh wait, I got more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were done, dude.
No, my other thing is so dude gets hit by the truck, and that was like his first like lead into trying to find out. He chases that guy down, and he gets
Oh, the guy that he doesn't chase after for some reason?
Well,
he's
he-
like, I know this guy's going to get hit by a truck. I'm just going to stand up here on top of the fucking
Watch it
overpass.
happen.
Like he was going to let that guy go.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
But then he acts like he doesn't have any leads. What about the black dude that he throw
I know.
punched back in the day? Like, did he kill that guy? Is
Literally
that guy
said
dead?
out loud to my wife, go back and get the other guy.
Because the other guy attacked him, and so
Yeah.
he throw punches that guy.
Well,
and
he throw punched him. The guy was dead.
Yeah,
I mean,
He
guess
was
that's
still
what
on
it
the
was.
ground.
He was just
This
dead.
is throw. I mean, you don't throw punch somebody like that and not have them go immediately.
So that was my other concern. And then of course, when we're talking about the ending of the movie, I like to just think about like what would be the dumbest song that could come on, and we brainstormed this before the pod, and because I hadn't written anything down yet, I had kind of like a little brain fart here, but we came up with what if the credits roll, and then all of a sudden, I had the time of my life.
Oh my God, we're good, dude. I think that should be the new segment. Brad says the song and then we duet
Harmonize.
it all the way to the end.
But yeah, I just think that would be a pretty great ending to this movie. I had
So
to tell him. It shows him and his daughter like running off into the distance.
Like on a
Hands.
boat.
Yeah, you know, I mean, there are ways in which
You got to end it on the boat though, if you're going to do that. Cause like, it'd be weird if it came on like as she's like going to play with She-Ra. It's like, oh, I brought my daughter over to play with you. She's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, do the kids still play at that age? She's like 17 and a half.
played it. Yeah,
Yeah.
She was trying to get her sing on.
He's like, I got to take my daughter to a play date at She-Ra's house. And like, does He-Man not exist in that like universe? Can you call yourself She-Ra?
Wait, is this girl the voice of She-Ra? That girl?
No, but
but
She-Ra's from He-Man, right?
yeah, well, I don't get the connection.
I'm just saying that's what was her name. She-Ra was her name in the
Wait,
movie.
that's the character's name?
Yeah, that's her like character name, dude.
That's the singer.
That's
The
the
famous
singer's
girl
name.
is She-Ra.
The famous
I did
She-Ra.
not get that.
You know what I mean?
Zach, we let you down on that one.
sorry. Are
You were
sure
going a
that-
direction,
are you
and you
sure?
were going confidently, and we just like fell behind. And
You had me doubting whether She-Ra was from
Are
He-Man.
you sure
or
you're
not.
pronouncing that correctly?
She-Ra?
She-
It was Sheera. So you make your own decision.
Shara.
There's no way.
She-Ra.
All right. So
That's a type of wine, bro.
next
Pass me to Shira.
next up, we're gonna do snagging, shagging, and body bagging. We'll be right back.
Is it a one-night stand, or do you hit it with a shovel, or take it home to mom and dad? It's like fuck, marry, or kill. It's shag, snack, body bag.
We're shagging, we're snagging, and then we're body bagging. Brad, what do you want to shag?
This is kind of terrible, but I remember the first time I watched this movie when it really kind of caught me, and I was like, oh shit. It's the moment when he shoots the wife in the shoulder.
So savage.
And I was just
I
like,
love the
okay,
savagery.
he is so fucking real right now. The fact that like this guy, like obviously he figured out that his cop buddy is kind of a fuck up and is doing some bad shit. And at this point he's like, okay, all bets are off.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. And he just blasts the girl on the shoulder. She's like,
it's just
she's
a
just all
flesh
happy,
wound.
having a good day. And all of a sudden
She didn't
gets-
do anything, and he's like, "Sorry, sorry."
She did do something. She like cooked him dinner and was just like trying to have a civil conversation with
Want
him.
some wine?
Let him open the wine.
He
Yeah.
shoots her in the
Shoot
arm.
you.
And she just gets blasted.
It's
and
just a flesh wound.
I'm sorry, but that scene, it blew my mind the first time I watched it. I was like, wow, this is
You just
wild.
want more just savage shooting of innocence. I love it.
It just brought out the character. I was like, okay, this is how much business he means.
don't
That he's
give
willing to
a
shoot his
fuck.
buddy's
I
wife.
do love the like, I don't care, I'll burn everything down element.
Yeah.
Which, you know, to your point from the very beginning, right? Like, there is a realness to that where you're just like, I don't want people to have to die, but I don't care who has to if I got to save my daughter. Right?
Yeah.
Like you do get, you get that, even though,
100%.
He also knew that he had dirt on dude already, so it's easy to fuck people like that because they're not going to call the cops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That sounds dumb. Anyways.
All right.
I'm shagging one of my favorite tropes in movies, and that is the either main character or the main character's daughter or the main character's wife or the main character's girlfriend or the main character's whatever his female counterpart is. She always has a friend that makes every dumb decision on the planet. It's never like a half dumb friend. It's always like
my cousins aren't here, but it's fine.
Exactly. I lied to you. She's super slutty, supposedly. Like she's just picking up
easy
on
with the slut shame.
I'm not slut shaming, but you see in the movie they give you the vibe that like she's making the wrong decision and she's also like, I'm gonna sleep with him right now.
She's also 19 and the other girl's 17, so this is a big deal.
That's true, but you know what I'm saying? Like, and the main character is just like, oh my god, no, oh my gosh, but she can't tell her friend no because she wants to be cool. This is every like sitcom, Saved by the Bell episode, freaking friend of the girls on Full House. Like this is like everything that I love about that character.
And in a lot of those shows and films and stuff, they usually don't make it either.
It doesn't turn out great for them.
It's not a promising character role.
And Liam tracked her down pretty quick. She didn't get 96 hours or whatever it was. She only had like 42 hours and he didn't know that.
So I had a question when I watched this part. I was like, did they just get the dosing wrong? Because like, why did they OD'd her in 24 hours? I'm like, that's bad. I mean, that's terrible decision making by the traffickers, right? They're like, why are they killing girls?
Can't believe that those geniuses got the dosage wrong.
I'm just saying. I don't know it doesn't make any sense.
Maybe they need to switch their doctors and prescriptions.
All right. So, the scene that I want to shag is the scene where she gets taken. Now, there's I have a little bit of a qualifier here, but it's from the moment that she says, Dad, someone's here, right? Like the movie doesn't get, for me, like really get started till that moment. And then all of a sudden, like it's so tense.
Yeah.
From that moment until the moment where like he hangs up and says, good luck. Like it's just, so for me, that scene, like I want it, over and over, just put it right in the veins, over and over again. But my qualifier is, and it's just so infuriating, and I'm not sure if it's infuriating intentionally or not intentionally.
Can I stop you just very quickly? Like, you're the guy that doesn't like that kind of shit. Like, I've got some of the best like home invasion movies that you have ever thought of, dude, that are going to have like the whole movie is that scene.
I think I know where he's going though, is the fact that how composed Liam Neeson gets and immediately is into like,
oh, that's the part you like? You don't like the part where the scared you are of like the daughter getting murdered or whatever?
I like the juxtaposition. So I like it's super tense. It very tense and like speeds up really fast. And so for the first time you see like the pace the movie's going to be with the tension.
Okay.
At the same time you see Liam Neeson get more calm and focused. And like he was kind of just middle of the road, average dude, except you see him in that one little scene.
He was almost kind of goofy.
Yeah, but you see him like protect the girl, but that's like a physical reaction. Whereas here it's like he's so like zeroed in and calculated immediately. But this leads to the thing that pisses me off, which is he goes to a lot of trouble of explaining to her, okay, you're gonna get taken. You're only gonna have 5 or 10 seconds. Yell out everything you do. And she, okay, and then they grab her and she goes, bah! And that's it.
She says something.
She gives the tattoo. Like, that's huge.
She says
gives
6
the tattoo?
foot something. Yeah, she says two things.
Are you sure?
She gives him
she
two
says
clues
like the
for
moon
sure.
and the star or whatever. Like she mentions that on the hand.
She talks about the tattoo
I really
on his
tried
hand,
to hear
and she
it,
talks
and
about
I
how
didn't hear it
tall he
this
is.
Yeah. That's why you got to watch the subtitles like me.
I was just, okay, that's why you got it. Because I listened. I was pissed about
I didn't
this.
see the subtitles, but it is hard to hear. And what you got to do, Nate, is you gotta tell your TV enhance sound, and then it'll get clearer, and then you can hear it.
So my question is if he's out for a slice of pizza and he doesn't have all his like cool little recording like things,
That's over.
Is it over? Is it like just
if he's anywhere but in his house where he has his
that's my alternate ending is that she doesn't call him back. That chick doesn't care about him, dude. He already signed the paper. She doesn't give a fuck. She's like in Paris. She's never cared, and now all of a sudden she's gonna call him back because he called her.
So if he didn't give a call that night, was he gonna fly to Paris and just?
They would never find her.
Yes.
Oh, no way. You think he'd just get on a plane and go? So. You think he still like solves the crime if he walks in and finds the apartment that way?
Doesn't he grab some DNA a
he
hair
grabs
or something
a hair and then never does anything with it? He's like taking this to the lab.
Wait, no, I think he doesn't. He like deposit it in some sort of device in the car that then transmits it.
No,
this is a fucking 007.
But possibly he's just like, oh, this guy's hair was black, and then he sees the dark-haired kid in the airport, and he's like, even though that kid wasn't there,
had to be him.
Yeah, he's like, that's the guy. That guy talking to the like almost attractive blonde woman, and then he's like, oh, the only reason that someone would talk to a blonde woman is because they are a kidnapper.
Predator.
Okay. All right. What about what are we snagging, Zach?
Let's see. Oh, I'm snagging. So I went tropey on this. So my favorite trope from this movie that I want to take home and live with forever is the saving your family. Like that's
I'm jumping on your back there,
dude. That is the dopest shit, right? Like every awesome movie, you get to save like a member of your family or something. You know, maybe you lose one or two along the way, but at least there's one you're gonna get. You know,
doing whatever it takes to rescue your daughter is what I put for myself.
So I have I mean, I think this is adjacent to that, but for me, it's the fantasy of being like a regular-ish guy with a particular set of skills. Oh, so like I love
that too.
I love that the family element makes it that much better. But like I like the idea that and there is something that like borne out here because like have you ever seen a Navy SEAL that wasn't in a movie?
Have I ever seen one?
Yeah.
I mean, I know some Army Rangers.
Okay.
And so I know some kids in the Marines, but
like a Ranger's a good one, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you saw the Ranger or Rangers that you know, like in street clothes walking down the street, would you be like, that guy could kill me immediately?
Well, the one I know is like 6'4" and pretty badass,
okay.
but I wouldn't. That wouldn't be my first thought.
Yeah. So, like, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of guys that are like special forces. I mean, they're obviously in good shape, and I think CIA guys like this, like. It's they develop skill sets more than they're just like physical specimens that are freaks, right?
So yeah, they're not like six packs and freaking.
Well, they probably do have
abs
six packs. It's just they don't wear shirts.
No, dude, less people have six packs than you would be led to believe, bro. I've
sure about that?
given up the pursuit of the pack of any sort.
I've got a colleague who
how many packs does he have?
No, he's an older gentleman, and I'm not going to say his name because I know he wouldn't appreciate it at the same time. One of my favorite people to talk to at work. Just one of my favorite people that I've worked with for a long time. If you meet him, you would think that's just some normal guy, but the dude is like black belts, martial artist. I think Krav Maga is like his
It's called old
style.
Man strength,
and he basically would like ruin you if you try to mess with him.
Yeah,
and he's such just an awesome guy to talk to, super good natured, but yet if you crossed him, it would be probably bad news.
Yeah, so
regardless of your age.
And that's exactly it. So for me, it's like the fantasy of being somebody that has developed a skill set so that you are so formidable, right? Not even just like in the physical combat stuff, but just you knew how to problem solve. You were MacGyver. You knew all the technology.
Yes.
You could figure out. You'd run through all the scenarios.
He's not just a good fighter, but he's super smart.
That's what. Yeah. Well, it's and even like separate from the smart. Like that's the analog to like he's not even smart so much as like you've trained yourself to deal with situations that are for most people unimaginable. And then when you confront these unusual situations, you're equipped to do it in a way that no one else would be. So like for me, I love that, like sort of like you get to imagine that you're that person.
That could be a natural instinct because we've talked about sure. We've had Lieutenant Dan on before, and I think Lieutenant Dan has that where things just slow down when it gets chaotic. Things slow down for him, and it's just like he's seeing things a lot more clearly than somebody who's not used to those types of situations, and it's just.
I think that was true even before he was a police officer.
Yeah, and no, that's what I'm saying. I think it's kind of there's something to say about it almost being like a natural instinct because he has always been that way, going back to like fights that I saw him in high school and stuff.
Yeah, good old police officer, Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, if you can keep your cool under pressure, that's definitely like an amazing skill set,
it's more
right?
Than half the battle.
Yeah, I'd say so. And
Okay.
G.I. Joe thinks so too.
So if you have to pick just one body bag, Brad,
it's the fast cuts. Like it's funny.
you don't like that.
I just don't. It almost at some points is going just too fast. Or whether it's the driving scene, whether it's the fight scenes, it's just the cuts almost happen so fast that it's disorienting. And there's something to say that it's like kind of the it's being done to kind of push the movie forward because we're on a time crunch here, and so it's kind of intentional, but it's just kind of annoying. Like, I don't know. Like, I think Bourne does it way better. This movie, it just seems like it's just, we don't want to really film a solid action scene, so let's just cut it up so it looks like it's exciting when it's really not that exciting. Or we got an older guy who's supposed to be doing martial arts, so we're going to hide that just by basically fast cutting.
You're hitting it on the head. They
hard disagree.
They can't do a wide angle on that kind of stuff and just a still shot because he's going to look like an old guy.
So how do we know that? I mean, first of all, Liam Neeson was like 55 when it's being filmed.
I don't know that. He looks like a pretty imposing, like taller dude. I'm sure he's a badass, but I bet he doesn't look like a badass beating up bad guys unless you film it in a certain way. I think. What do you think?
Did you ever see the Stephen A. Smith boxing video where he was like kind of like working with the trainer and doing some boxing?
Yeah, but they never show him from like a wide angle.
No. They showed him just like an Instagram video, and it was terrible. It looks so bad. I think he probably thinks like, oh, I'm throwing some good punches here, and it looks so bad. And I'm not saying that Stephen A. Smith is Liam Neeson or whatever, but if you're not a trained fighter, martial artist, boxer, etc.,
it can look awkward real quick.
Yes, especially if you're a little bit older and a little bit slower. Because speed can hide things. Like, I mean, Wesley Snipes is a perfect example of that.
Those quick.
I'm gonna remind you of this.
My boy 56. Wesley Snipes, action. He's getting a lot
of run in this spot. I don't think he knew he was gonna get that much run in the Taken pod.
Okay, Zach, what are you gonna body bag?
So my body bag is another trope from movies that I just hate, and it's real, and that's why it's a trope. But super rich dudes, I don't care how gross you are. Like, you're super rich. You have a yacht, dude. You do not have to buy some chick that was kidnapped for $500,000 to be your lady friend, dude. There's plenty of ladies out there that would have sex with you for a lot less than $500,000 and a lot less legal, a lot more legally. And
there are plenty of women who want to be around that money and stuff.
Exactly.
From all countries, there's plenty of women who want to be around that situation.
So I'm not going to body bag the trope because it's a thing, but I want to body bag like the real people that inspired this trope. Like, what are you guys doing?
I mean, I think
you can't be gross enough. Like, it doesn't matter how much money you have. You cannot be too gross for somebody to still want to be with you if you have enough money.
I mean, I think this is sort of, adjacent to the conversation about like, rape generally being like not about sex, but about like violence and about like.
So you think things. That's what it is? They don't want to just have sex. They want to like.
Exactly. Right. Like this. So
I guess you're right.
I guess my point is like, it's a misnomer, I think, when people talk about like sex crimes and sex trafficking and those things, that like, this is just like men wanting to try to have sex with somebody that, because they're just horny or whatever, right? Like, this is a whole other level of despicable.
You're absolutely right.
The way I see it is like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not in the mindset of a fucking rich psychopath, but if I have to project on that, I would say the read has to be, that's a dude who thinks he can buy anything and he gets off in some way on like buying control.
What it is it would be a turn off for him if the girl was into it
or something.
Yeah, like it's gross. I don't know. Maybe. Either way, it's gross. I don't like it.
I'm all for body bagging all the people involved in human and sex
human trafficking.
I always wonder when
We're
you
making
see
bold stances.
When you see something like that, whether it's Squid Game spoilers at the end of Squid Game. There's
I haven't seen it.
Then I'll stop on that. But like the buying rich people sitting around this very special room where they're getting champagne and they have their little buttons to bid. Like, is that shit coming just from somebody's imagination, or are any of those based on any kind of reality whatsoever?
It's like, I want to know, and I also don't.
Yes,
because if the answer is yes, I'm just like,
it has to.
Fuck the world,
especially in Europe, bro.
Those damn Euros.
You're such a Europhobe. I'm going to remind you of this when we go to Europe and meet all the nice people. All right, so my body bag is. So Maggie Grace plays Kim. She's 25 when she plays this. She's supposed to be turning 17. She doesn't look, I mean, it's not a crazy, like, we're not talking 90210 level.
Oh, I thought she was believably 17.
Oh, no.
But okay,
so here's the...
She acts like a little kid.
Okay, so here's the issue.
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic.
She looks like she's not probably 17, but she either directed to or acts like almost a caricature of a little girl.
She overdoes
She dresses in a way that's like almost a spoof of a little kid.
Daddy.
Like I have had 17-year-olds
weird.
and I've been around a lot of teenagers and I don't know any that are like, hee, I'm like a little girl. No, they're all like, I want to just hang out with my friends. Leave me the fuck alone.
Right. Oh yeah, karaoke machine. Cool.
Yeah. So the way that she runs is like almost like a it's like so overdone.
It's like an 11-year-old to like 12-year-old.
It literally is almost played like it's 11 or 12-year-old.
Yeah.
And so it was
even younger.
But here for me, the bigger problem is like I feel like that's done. It's a choice made in order to like provoke you into the thing we started talking about, which is to try to get you even more fired up about the fact that you might have to save your own like little kid.
100%.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why do you have to do that? Like if my legit teenage acting 17-year-old daughter was kidnapped, or my 25-year-old daughter was kidnapped, or my 30-year-old son was kidnapped, everybody's dying. But like, I'm going torch dirt.
It doesn't matter either way. But what I'm saying is like, I think in the movie, it gives you this like, she's not going to fight back. She can't defend herself. That's why he doesn't tell her anything other than like, they're going to take you, get underneath the bed. Like if your daughter was like different, maybe you could be like, grab the sharpest thing you could find and freaking, you know what I mean? Like kill some dudes.
Maybe, although he's got to be thinking she tries that and she's dead.
I guess you're right.
And if there's a bunch
See, that's why Liam is the one to be in this
he understands that in this situation, putting up a fight is not going to be good for her. So give her the least amount of stress.
Or like, how can you get out of the room you're in? He doesn't know what size room she's in or where she's at. Like maybe she could have freaking gone out the door immediately and made it out. But instead he's like, get under the bed. They're going to take you. I'm 4,000 miles away.
He didn't say, is there a window you can climb out of?
Yeah, exactly. Do you have a gun?
Hey,
like,
he knows the architecture. Don't second guess Brian, okay? Don't second guess him because it worked out.
Picture kiosk enhance.
All right. So let's go streaming recommendations. I've got one I really like because I just watched it and because it's perfect, but I'm not going to say it first.
I'll go first. I'm going to go with, it's kind of another situation where you have it's not a father-daughter relationship. In fact, it's almost played a little weird, but if you think of it as a father-daughter relationship, it works. The movie Leon the Professional. It's a great one. It's Jean Reno. Natalie Portman was like her first like big starring role, and of course Gary Oldman, just psychopath,
killing it.
It's great.
So what's the controversy on that movie?
That the relationship gets played a little weird. I mean, Natalie Portman's like 12, and she's staying with him, and it seems like he's in a fatherly role, but at the same time she like falls in love with them.
Oh, really?
So you know what's weird?
It's a little awkward.
So there's that movie, and then there's
that.
one called Beautiful Girls where she's plays like a 13-year-old with a character that played by Timothy Hutton who's coming home for his like 10-year high school reunion, and that's also a weirdly inappropriate like dynamic.
At 28 years
Yeah,
old?
she's like Lolita like 2 films in a row.
Yeah.
It's very I don't know why. I mean, I haven't heard the commentary on that,
But
that's wild.
But the professional is Luc Besson. He's the director, and he wrote Taken. He did not direct it, but he wrote Taken. So it's a great movie. It's legitimate. HBO Max. Check it out if you've never seen The Professional. Awesome movie.
And when that one's over, just click right over to HBO to keep it on HBO Max and go to 2002, The Bourne Identity, which are if you're not looking for like a super like. I don't know the way to explain it. I won't put any qualifiers on it, but Robert Ludlum, I believe is his name. He wrote the Bourne Identity books, and dude, they're legit. Like super fun, super pulpy, like spy novels that I think that young kids and young adults alike. I really dug all those books. So check them out. Bourne Identity. Similar cuts and similar European spy shit.
Bourne Identity, I said earlier that Taken was like the one I think of. Maybe Bourne Identity would be a close competitor.
I 100% agree.
I love Bourne. And I think the whole original 3 especially are all really good. So
For the Takens? Or the Bourne?
For Bourne.
Have any of you guys seen Taken 2 or 3?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I watched neither.
Who else gets taken? He has another daughter?
I saw the blurb. It said that they get taken.
He gets taken and his ex-wife, and then the daughter might get taken again. Actually, it's funny enough. I was just
the dog.
I was my mother-in-law. my mother-in-law is one of
horse.
Mother-in-law is one of my movie watching buddies. Whenever we go visit, and so she rewatched Taken with me, and we were trying to remember all the things that happened in Taken 2 and 3, and it just all runs. There's a lot of people taken. That's pretty much what we can claim.
And probably a lot of throat punches.
But there were a lot of throat punches, but we liked them well enough. I mean, for what they are, not as good as the first one. So I've got two. So the OG, the one that I really like, is A Long Kiss Goodnight with Gina Davis.
Dude,
is that
she
Sam Jackson too?
Yeah. So she was kind of like had amnesia. It's kind of has a Bourne element. Like she doesn't remember what happened before certain times. She kind of becomes like a very domesticated, and then realizes she knows how to use a chopping knife for things other than chopping. And so, but there's a lot of threat to her family element to it, and she's a total badass.
She's a total babe too.
It's a great movie. If you have Hoopla, which I don't know who doesn't, you can watch it for free, or you can buy it for $4.99 on YouTube.
If you're hooping.
Yeah, so there's that one. A really recent one is called Nobody with
Saul.
It's with Saul, Better Call Saul. Saul from Better Call Saul. Nobody.
Bob Odenkirk.
Odenkirk. He's a former CIA agent. I think he's CIA, and he kind of comes out of retirement because somebody threatens his family.
I think that one's on HBO Max right now.
It's on HBO Max. I just watched it for the first time, also with my mother-in-law.
Haven't
we
seen
really
it
enjoyed it, and it's a really quick one. Tight, fun,
quick cut fight scenes.
When I saw it, all I was thinking is this is Bob Odenkirk's Taken. That's all it looked like.
It really
John
does
Wick
have that same feel. So I didn't love John Wick.
I think it's just kind of a similar movie, right?
So John Wick, though, for me,
is
more
revenge fantasy.
To me, though, yes, but John Wick has more of a video game feel to it. To me,
lots of headshots,
and I really nobody has more of that. He feels very. A lot of times he gets his ass kicked throughout the movie, but he comes out on top. So he's very tough, but maybe a little out of practice, and very everyday guy.
Odenkirk, right?
Odenkirk, yeah. So to me, it feels a lot like Taken in that way. He's kind of out of the life and he's back in.
Well, it's not somebody you would I think it's with the Liam Neeson that you wouldn't imagine him to be like an action star, even whatsoever.
With Odenkirk,
even more.
Yeah, he didn't have his Rob Roy day.
Yeah,
he was just.
He didn't even swing a lightsaber at anybody.
He didn't even put grenadine in his Sprite
and a cherry.
Okay.
Maraschino.
All right, so
bitch.
you go run through those if you're a fan of Taken or Bourne or any of that stuff. So we come to the end here with alternate endings, reshelved. Anybody got them?
So my alternate ending, I kind of already spoiled. My alternate ending ends before he saves her, so that we can show this as a cautionary tale to all the young ladies and gentlemen across the United States. Just to know, don't travel to other countries because you will be taken. You know what I mean? So we'll stop it before she gets saved, and I think that's what we should distribute.
My alternate ending is I don't even want her to get kidnapped. We're not even going to do that. I want to watch his feud with the rich dude as the rich dude tries to basically take over his daughter, and he's trying to be a part of her life. I want to see that movie where he's just seething. He knows he could fuck this guy up. He's already looked into his records, and he tries to take this guy down.
Oh, I know what happens. He goes and he finds a bad guy or a good guy that he protects, and that guy breeds even bigger horses than the horses that he got her. So the guy's like, thanks for saving my life. Here's a bigger horse. And then he shows up and he's like, check out this fucking even bigger horse. And then the dad's like, God damn it. And he goes and has to get her a yacht. And then he saves somebody that has a blimp company, and he's like,
or what?
Check out my blimp, I got you.
What if Rich Dad is in the market of he's bidding on chicks and stuff? He's in that underground rich dude world, doing some of that shit. He gets fucking taken down,
dude.
And then he gets his daughter's full respect back because he's like, my wife fucked up marrying this dude, and now you don't like him at all. You like me because I'm the dad that solved all this shit.
And the ex-wife gets shamed. That's terrible.
All right,
how could you? You have such bad judgment. You married me and this guy. He's a sex trafficker.
Yeah, so he wins her back that way.
Okay, I've got two,
and then her friend doesn't have to die.
All right, I've got two. I've got an alternate ending and a reshelf. So my reshelf, in honor of my dad's always till dawn, reshelf is it's Taken till dawn. So the question is, where do the vampires come in? There's a perfect moment, right? We go through the whole movie. He gets to the wine, the champagne tasting,
U2 plays in Transylvania,
and all of a sudden, it's not just normal people. It's a bunch of vampires
because they're gonna suck their blood.
And to this evidence that this could be the direction it meant to go, the guy that he forces to buy her, that has the like curved knife. The amount of eyeshadow he has on eyeliner all the way around his eyes?
He was tired, bro. I thought he had been up like buying young ladies for a long time.
He's putting makeup so the light doesn't hurt him.
It's a makeup choice. He almost has enough that he could be like, "Are you about to play a baseball game?" So
he plays free safety for the Ravens.
So that guy is the first. He all of a sudden goes vampire, and then bang, he's got to run away from the vampire. So he saves her not just from a bunch of sex traffickers, but they're sex trafficking vampires.
And he MacGyvers, like he figures out how to make wooden bullets, and that's how he kills the vampires.
I love it.
Oh,
maybe he had he has some wooden bullets stashed someplace in Paris because he knew this could happen
in a locker.
What if he has to chop off his hand and put on a wooden hand so that he can throat punch guys and kill them with his wooden hand?
Wooden hand throat punches.
Oh, not even throats. He like has to do it at a certain angle so it goes into their heart. So he just like goes through the throat to the heart.
This is a winner. Okay. So that's my reshelf.
And it never explains how he learned that.
Yeah. So now, since my dad will take great joy in that one, I'm going to give him an alternate ending that he would just absolutely hate. And that is, okay, it's everything right up to the moment where the guy has her, is holding her in the bedroom, the final scene.
They're about to negotiate.
No, he's got the gun on the guy, right? And she's afraid. He's got the knife to her throat. And then the screen goes black as you hear the gunfire and credits.
So you just would not know how it went down?
Does the bullet hit her? Does it hit him? Does he save her?
It was such a close shot. I turned to my wife and I was like, he should shoot right now. She's like leaning to the side and everything. And
perfect.
He's just big old fat head. Lisa
Shot.
was like, his head's so big. How's he going to miss that?
Shot fired. You don't know what happened. Yeah. Maybe missed entirely.
Well, he might cut her. It's like he has no fear that it's like she's going to like take her head off like when he gets shot.
Could, like catch the.
He might slice her a little bit, but I don't think he's going to catch an artery. Like I don't think he's going to go deep enough.
Well, anyway, so I think nobody knows what happened. Cautionary tale.
Well, up until that point, every shot that he had shot had killed someone or hit them in the face. Every single punch had landed square in the throat. I don't think he really got hurt except for jumping off some stuff a couple of times.
And he's impervious.
It'd be pretty fair to say he's
also impervious to bullets because a few different times a few guys get the jump on him with machine guns, and he's just like, "Oh, let me just avoid those bullets real quick. Oh, now I'll return fire and kill you."
Yeah, the scene at the construction site, that was my most important moment of suspension of disbelief. I had to really hold on.
Yeah, he's getting shot by everybody, and he's just like, "Nah."
Getting shot by a lot. He's like running away super fast. What are they doing with those women in there? And I agree with you. Like, how did they kill the blonde chick? Do they all go there and then just stay there until they're like properly subdued and then they send them to the auction? Or did only like his
apparently
his super
it was because she was a virgin. Remember they say that. They said that she was a virgin.
But they had other girls at that auction. I wonder if they all go to the auction or if they stay there. And then I even got the impression when he first went into one of the tents that there was like a John in there with her.
Yeah. Although I think some of it there's like mid.
So like some of them go into the blanket
mid-level,
fort, and then the other ones go to the freaking champagne poppy, like freaking absolutely ridiculous place. You know what I mean? Like who makes that designation? Who's like, yep, this one right here. She's coming with me to the castle.
We should literally body bag.
We should.
We talked about this ending kind of earlier, but it's like, what if the ending was like the boat takes off and then he just watches it, goes to credits?
I actually like the ending that we send out to all the young boys and girls across the world to discourage them. I think we end it where he's getting choked, where he's like he's gonna die, and he's like, kill them quietly, and he goes over there.
He just gets killed.
Yeah, and then he just gets shot in the head. And then she never gets saved. And then we're like, see what happens? Your dad's going to get killed and you're not going to get saved.
Yeah.
So don't ever travel.
Yeah. And then they just show another like quick flash to like what the guy that like what the sheik looked like.
Don't get on a plane.
And then it's like, this is the guy. This is the guy that you will be with forever.
God. This got even
on that note.
So anyway, go out and watch Taken.
We're trying to discourage.
Well, we can actually just tell people what we'll do is we'll just post, exactly what minute to just hit stop.
As soon as that guy goes, just kill him quietly.
Yeah. Just hit stop. Is there more? No,
that's it. That's it. We just didn't want to bother with the credits. That's it.
Yeah. We didn't want to hear a time of your life.
All right. So this was the Taken Pod. We had Einar Haraldsson here talking a little bit of Icelandic police work and acting with us.
Seems like that's a pretty cool job. And I don't mean that cool
Sounds
like literally. I'm not trying to pun
coolest
this
job
out.
ever. I mean, you get to you take little shots, you eat shark, you police for a long time, but there's no bad guys. And
I love it.
Dude, I mean, that sounds sick as hell. You get to travel all over the world and see all these different cultures and film
LAPD
movies.
must have been just crazy for him, but that's
Dude,
funny.
That is
I want
wild.
that's almost a good movie, like bringing the Iceland cop into
That's perfect.
do the ride arounds of the LAPD.
Einar, you can have that.
If you pitch that, and it's yours.
It'll be like, I love that.
All right. So in response to Taken, we are going to draft the most memorable movie spies.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's coming up next Tuesday. Tune in then. And I think we'll see you then.
I wonder if any of you, your favorite characters were spies, but they were so good that you didn't know.
like the
You know
water
what I'm
boy,
saying?
the water boy was a
Yeah,
spy.
exactly. He was just pretending to be Ricky Bobby or whatever his name is.
Could we stop talking about this because you're going to blow all my draft picks? All right.
Oh, he's like Liam Neeson in Love Actually.
Yeah.
He was a spy.
Like Walter Sobchak from Big Lebowski. That's going to be my first pick. And be like, he wasn't a spy. You don't know. He's that good. He certainly had a special set of skills.
Miranda from The Devil Wears Prada.
Yes, exactly.
100%.
Okay. All right. We will see you guys next week. This has been Bez Video Kingdom. Thanks for tuning in.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
I wanna be at Beverly's, bringing me home with my movies. Just a blind by, no reason why. I love this scene. Nick Natak and Brad, your favorite podcast. Let's start this.